this week's news, local council ends official prayer. 200 years of the gospel in New Zealand. And an unexpected Christmas gift for Tony Abbot.
This is InFocus Christian News and Current Affairs.
The decision of a local council in Victoria to scrap opening prayers has sparked criticism, with some Christian representatives describing the move as intolerant. According to Christian Today, the vote by the Surf Coast Shire Council, based in Torquay, passed with a strong majority, 8-1. Council will now open official meetings with a pledge rather than prayer to avoid councillors taking offence. The single dissenting councillor described the move as disrespectful, and the Australian Christian lobby said the council is turning its back on Australia's Christian heritage. Australian Catholic leaders have made what are described as unprecedented links between celibacy and child sexual abuse. An activity statement report from the Church's Truth, Justice and Healing Council says the Church's culture of clericalism may be geared to priests having power over others rather than serving others. A culture of obedience, closed environments and the requirement that priests remain celibate were also identified as possible contributing factors to abuse. According to the Australian newspaper, the report is the first in the world where church representatives have publicly admitted to the risks associated with celibacy. A year after Typhoon Haiyan devastated the Philippines, the region has again been hit by wild storms, which this time killed at least 27 people and caused widespread floods. According to Adventist Review, the government has been praised for its effective evacuation of more than 1 million people, a move that doubtless saved many lives. Nevertheless, thousands of homes were still damaged or destroyed, and residents will need a lot of support before they can get back on their feet. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency, or ADRA, has dispatched workers to the worst-hit areas, where they will cooperate with government agencies and NGOs in the relief effort. ADRA's ability to assist in future disaster and development projects has been boosted by 78,000 New Zealand dollars thanks to strong public support at a charity fun run in Auckland. More than 1,100 runners pounded the pavement along the picturesque Mission Bay shoreline in an event assisted by 120 or so volunteers. The ADRA New Zealand Fun Run has become a fixture on the calendar for many Aucklanders. The event has been held every year for more than a decade. And still in New Zealand, the island nation of 4.5 million people has a very special Christmas to celebrate this year. It will be 200 years to the day since the first Christian worship service was held on New Zealand soil. On Christmas Day 1814, the Anglican minister Samuel Marsden preached a sermon at Oihi in the far north of New Zealand, where he also worked with local Maori tribes to establish a mission station. An ecumenical commemoration and Thanksgiving service will be held at the site on Christmas Day this year to celebrate the bicentenary. After the killing of 2 men in Vanuatu as suspected witches, churches in the Pacific Islands are searching for solutions. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands says practical solutions need to be put into place to deal with situations where a sudden death is blamed on sorcery.
They try at funerals to have the medical certificate read out, asking that there would be a medical certificate and from a health worker, from a doctor, and that it be read out at funerals in order to try to circumvent someone coming up with another reason.
Seventh-day Adventist leaders in Papua New Guinea say it's usually vulnerable members of the community, the elderly, single women or otherwise isolated people, who are scapegoated and accused of sorcery. Prime Minister Tony Abbot was presented with a surprise Christmas gift this week, solar panels to grace the roof of his official Sydney residence, Kirribilli House. The gift came from a group of carol-singing church leaders, Anglican, Uniting, Evangelical and others, who raised the money to buy the solar panels and delivered them to Mr Abbott's electoral office. The Common Grace Christian Alliance is concerned at Australia's 70% drop in renewable energy investment this year and wants to encourage the government to increase its renewable energy target. And that's it for the news this week and for this year. We're taking a bit of a holiday break, so look out for our next news bulletin on the 23rd of January. Have a great Christmas and New Year. God bless.